Behind these iron gates lies a $5 billion fortune built over 40 years of unrelenting sacrifice. Eleanor Vance ruled global logistics, but her proudest achievement was her only son, Julian. Since her husband passed, Eleanor raised Julian to value loyalty, honesty, and hard work above all else. When Julian announced his sudden engagement to Chloe, Eleanor felt a wave of immediate unease. Chloe appeared out of nowhere 6 months ago, sweeping Julian off his feet with charm and elegance. Eleanor hired top investigators, but Chloe's background was strangely clean, almost entirely scrubbed. Wealth draws fake affection, like sugar draws wasps, and Eleanor refused to let Julian be ruined. The wedding was set for next month, giving Eleanor a narrow window to discover Chloe's true motives. Words mean nothing when billions are at stake. Only actions under pressure reveal true character. She decided to test Chloe in a place where money couldn't buy respect. From the bottom up, she confided her plan only to Arthur, her trusted butler of 30 years, demanding absolute secrecy. Arthur warned her of the risks, but Eleanor knew this was the only way to safeguard Julian's future. Julian had just purchased a countryside estate, hiring a new domestic crew before Chloe arrived. Eleanor stripped away her jewelry, her designer clothes, and her makeup, shedding her billionaire identity. In under an hour, the world's most formidable executive transformed into an anonymous domestic cleaner. From this moment on, her name was Martha, a woman invisible to the high society elite. Julian arrived early to inspect the staff arrangements before Chloe's planned weekend arrival. Julian greeted the team warmly, completely unaware that his own mother stood among the housekeepers. Eleanor kept her eyes down, her voice low, ensuring her own son wouldn't recognize her voice. Julian instructed Arthur that Chloe demanded perfection for her arrival that afternoon. At precisely 3 o'clock, the roar of a high-performance engine announced Chloe's arrival. Chloe stepped onto the driveway, assessing the mansion. Not as a home, but as a prize. Julian welcomed her with open arms, completely blinded by his devotion to her. The second Julian stepped away to take a call, Chloe's warm demeanor instantly vanished. Her first action was snapping her fingers at Eleanor, demanding her luggage be moved immediately. Without a word, Eleanor lifted the heavy bags, feeling the weight of Chloe's entitlement. Chloe offered no thanks, treatment reserved strictly for people she considered inferior. In the master bedroom, Eleanor observed the extravagant preparations Julian had arranged. Instead of gratitude, Chloe complained that the room lacked proper luxury decor. She ran her finger across the surface, looking for any flaw to assert her authority. "Clean this room again," Chloe demanded. "I won't sleep in a place filled with filth." "Yes, ma'am," Eleanor replied softly, keeping her composure under the disrespect. When Julian entered, Chloe's demeanor shifted instantly back to gentle sweetness. She played the loving partner seamlessly, masking the cruelty she showed seconds prior. Eleanor withdrew into the hallway, her suspicions already beginning to be confirmed. Arthur caught her eye, silently asking if she wished to stop the experiment immediately. Eleanor shook her head. One act of arrogance was not enough. She needed full proof. That evening, Julian organized an intimate dinner to celebrate their upcoming wedding date. Eleanor stood inches away, serving the couple while listening to every word spoken. Chloe spoke of charity, family values, and her desire for a simple, quiet life. To anyone else, Chloe was perfect, but Eleanor recognized a professional performer. Under the table, Chloe deliberately knocked her napkin into the dirt, testing Martha again. Eleanor knelt down, feeling the heel of Chloe's shoe lightly step on her hand. Eleanor didn't flinch. She retrieved the napkin and stood tall, maintaining her disguise. Julian smiled at his mother's disguise, completely unaware of the poison sitting across from him. By morning, Julian was called away to an urgent board meeting in the city. With Julian gone for 2 days, Chloe's true colors would fully emerge. The moment his limousine cleared the gates, the sweet fiancée disappeared completely. She summoned the domestic team, establishing her new rule with cold authority. "This estate belongs to me now," she declared, "and I expect total obedience." To enforce her point, Chloe deliberately poured red wine onto a priceless vintage rug. "Clean it up immediately, Martha. If it stains, you're fired without pay." Eleanor knelt without argument, carefully scrubbing the antique piece she had bought years ago. Chloe derived sick pleasure from dominating someone she viewed as helpless and poor. Every drop of wine Eleanor scrubbed away deepened her resolve to protect her son. By noon, Chloe was already arranging to throw out Julian's family heirlooms. She ordered original art pieces removed, replacing them with cheap, trendy, modern decor. Seeing her family legacy treated like trash tested Eleanor's self-control to its limit. In the kitchen, Chloe threw away meals cooked by staff who had served the family for decades. "Unacceptable," she screamed. "You work for a billionaire now. Start acting like it." Eleanor comforted the staff in secret, assuring them that justice would prevail. By afternoon, Chloe spent her time lounging by the pool, demanding constant service. Eleanor brought refreshments under the hot afternoon sun, serving her future daughter-in-law. "Too warm," Chloe snapped. "Fetch another one and make sure it's actually cold." Eleanor picked up the glass without complaint, gathering vital psychological data on Chloe. While returning inside, Eleanor noticed Chloe's tone change as she answered a private call. Eleanor paused behind the glass doors, her instincts telling her this call mattered. "He's totally wrapped around my finger," Chloe boasted to whoever was on the line. "His mother is some ancient recluse," Chloe continued. "She won't know what hit her." "Once the marriage contract is locked, we start transferring the offshore holdings." Eleanor quietly activated a hidden digital recorder, capturing every incriminating sentence. "Julian is sweet, but he's naive. He thinks I actually love his rustic taste." Eleanor retreated into the cool shadows of the mansion, the evidence clear and damning. In the staff quarters, Eleanor reviewed the recording, proof of calculated fraud. Arthur entered, informing her that Chloe had just ordered the firing of 2 Maid staff. Chloe had dismissed 2 young maids simply for failing to bow when she entered the room. "Rehire them secretly," Eleanor instructed Arthur. "Pay them double out of my private account." Arthur agreed, amazed by Eleanor's ability to remain composed despite the chaos. As night fell, a heavy storm rolled over the estate, matching the rising tension inside. Chloe launched her next maneuver, accusing Martha of stealing a high-value necklace. "My $50,000 necklace is gone," Chloe screamed for the entire house to hear. She staged the theft to establish total dominion over the staff before Julian returned. "I did not touch your necklace, ma'am," Eleanor stated calmly and clearly. Chloe reached out to physically search her, crossing a line no one had ever dared cross. Eleanor caught Chloe's wrist mid-air with iron strength, halting her in her tracks. For a brief second, Chloe saw a terrifying flash of power in the old woman's eyes. Eleanor released her grip, stepping back smoothly into her humble maid facade. "You'll pay for that," Chloe hissed. "When Julian gets back, you're going to prison." "We shall see who pays, ma'am," Eleanor replied softly as she turned away. The trap was fully set. Now all Eleanor needed was the grand finale.